Hey guys, it's CJ from smartktai.com. In this video we're taking a look at Sense 3.0 and the rest of the software on Sprint's HTC EVO 3D glasses free 3D enabled Android smartphone. We have a lot to cover, so let's just dive right in. So here we are on the main home screen. I'm going to turn the device off for a second, turn it back on, just so we can get a good look at the new lock screen featured with Sense 3.0. Of course, I covered this in depth in a previous video, so be sure to check that out. I'll post a link in the description below. So here we can see, compared to the original EVO 4G where you just slide and then it unlocks the screen, now we can slide this free floating ring upwards and it'll unlock the screen like normal. But if we go back, you can see there are some new features here. It makes it a more robust lock screen. So we have animated weather over here. You can actually change that to a different type of lock screen. I'll show you that a little bit later on. And then down here, a really cool feature, we have app shortcuts. So these are customizable. You can select any apps you want to be there. And the cool thing about this is this allows you to jump directly to that application without having to unlock the screen first. So say we want to go to the Android market, we just do that and it takes us right to the market. So very convenient feature right there. Alright, so here are our home screens. This probably looks very familiar. It's Sense hasn't changed very much when you look at it from afar, but there are some new features with Sense 3.0. So you can see when we swipe, they added sort of 3D-ish transition. You can see even the little features of the clock really pop out. Oops, when we switch from panel to panel here. And then if you actually swipe through quickly, you get this little neat 3D carousel effect. Now I'm not sure how practical that is because it does sort of spin wildly out of control, and I don't know if people are going to be able to stop on the screen they want. You do get a little indicator here, so maybe that will help. Of course, we can also pinch to zoom, and then we get a zoomed out view of all 7 of our home screens. A neat feature here that wasn't on the EVO 4G is the ability to reorder these home screens. So you can just tap and hold and move your home screens over. Very cool there. Another cool feature that wasn't in the version of Sense on the EVO 4G was the ability to rearrange icons. So as you can see here, all of my icon slots are filled right now, and if we were using the EVO 4G, in order to rearrange some icons, we would have to delete one to make space, move the other one over, and then bring back the one we deleted. But now you can actually just tap and hold, and then move it over, and you can see they sort of rearrange on their own. Alright, so let's move ahead to the notification bar. So if you're familiar with Android, you know all about the notification bar. But if you're new to it, what's cool about it is it shows all your notifications right there, and then you can pull down the shade for easy access. Now on the EVO 4G, that's basically all it did. Just showed you your notifications, and you tap on whatever item it is and you can see more information on it. But now with this version of Sense, you actually have your frequently used applications listed up here for quick access, and then you have your quick settings over here for enabling and disabling Wi-Fi, Sprint's hotspot, mobile network, 4G, Bluetooth, GPS, and then you can load up your settings and memory information. Going back here, like I said, you can access your recently used apps. You can also do that, of course, by tapping and holding the home button on your device. So here we have our familiar HTC clock and weather combo widget. This is a very nice widget to have. Let's just dive into it real quick just to see what it looks like. So we have our desk clock, world clock, alarms, stopwatch, and timer. So handy features that you may use on a daily basis. Let's go back there. Let's tap on the weather to take us into the weather application. We actually covered this in the same video with the lock screen features, but I'll give you a quick rundown as well. So we have our temperature right there, nice weather animation in the background. HTC is known for having these beautifully done, elaborate weather animations for their weather app. So let's go ahead and pull that out. We have extended forecast. And then a quick demo will show us the different types of weather animations available. So we have sunny, thunderstorms, very cool. Seems like they're more in detail than the previous animations on different versions of Sense. So hot, partly cloudy, partly sunny, rain. This one's really cool, especially if you finish the full animation, but you'll have to check that out on our other demo video, Windy. So let's jump back out of there. So here I pulled up a text message, so you can see the text messaging application has been polished up a bit. On the EVO 4G, you basically had a simple layout where it just showed you line by line the different parts of the conversation. Now you have, similar to text bubbles, now you have these sort of post-it notes for your text. So here's a recent message I got from Sprint. You can see it even has some details like the little shadow effect under the rectangle, and if I sent a message it would show up here as a similar gray box. Very cool that they revamped that a little bit. Let's go into Mail. So we'll load that up. You have the ability to switch accounts up here. You can compose a new message, and then you have all your emails right here. Down here we have different options for filtering: inbox, conversations, favorites, unread, and attachments. Let's go back to all messages, and we'll just dive into an email real quick. Looks like someone commented on one of our game reviews that we reviewed on this HTC EVO 3D. You can just pinch to zoom just to see how that works out. Nice. Let's go back over here. Now, one of the main features I wanted to talk about with the email application is you can see HTC added the ability to multi-select items. So now you can select multiple emails and then mark them read, delete, or move to. So that's a convenience factor there that you weren't able to do previously. You had to dive into more menus in order to do the same things. And since we're in the email application, I'll go ahead and load up an email just to show you the different keyboards included with this device. So we have a familiar keyboard here. This is HTC's Touch Input keyboard. Very nice keyboard, nice large keys, and it works very well for touch input. But what I want to show you is a new feature included with Sense 3.0 called HTC Trace. Now this is basically going to enable the keyboard to act like the swipe input keyboard. If you've ever used Swipe, that's a third-party keyboard where you can swipe from letter to letter in order to complete words. So you don't have to type out each individual letter to finish your words. You can just swipe without lifting your finger off the screen. So I'm going to go ahead and demo that. One thing I should note is that it doesn't work with certain text entry fields. For example, if you can't use predictive text, like in this header up here, you can't use HTC Trace. So I'm going to go ahead and go to the body and then use it. So we'll type in, this is a, oops, looks like I messed up there. We'll do test of, let me try that again, trace. Alright, so I'm a little rusty with this swiping type of text input, but you get the picture. It's basically like swipe. It actually works quite well when you're not trying to demo a unit on camera. But let's go ahead and tap and hold on the screen, because you can actually switch to swipe as well. So this does include swipe. It's not the newest version, but it's still everyone's favorite swipe keyboard, and it works just as well as it usually does. So let's just jump back out of here and we'll move on to, how about the web browser here. So I already have Smart Keytie loaded up. You can see scrolling works nicely. Pinch to zoom, very fluid. Let's just center that there. Very nice. And we'll go ahead and load up another page here. Let's go ahead and we'll just jump to this. Let that load up. See how rendering works on this device. Now our website isn't the fastest at loading, so we're pretty happy with how the EVO is handling it, and you can see the text reflows when you zoom in there. Now let's jump back and go into a page that has some video content so we can demo Flash. So I'm basically just gonna play a YouTube video, and rather than load it in the YouTube application, I'll just load it right on this web page. See how it flows. Just zoom in a little bit. And it should begin in a second. There we go. So this is a preview of an upcoming game. Very, very cool platformer coming out. And as you can see, it plays very, very nice on the EVO 3D. Of course, you can also pan around, and the image is gonna just pause for a second, but as soon as you let go, you can see it starts flowing right away. Let's zoom out. So no problems with performance in the web browser department. So let's just jump out of there, and we'll go into our app tray. So we have a new look app tray here. On the EVO 4G, you just had a grid of icons, but now you have some options down here. So we have all apps, frequently used apps, and downloaded apps. So I'm going to go back to all, and another feature I should note here is that the way you scroll is different now. You don't have a continuous scrolling list. They're actually more like pages now, so when you swipe, it'll move on to the next slide of apps. I'm not sure if this is a good or a bad thing. I know at least one person who prefers it this way because they can have more control at what set of apps they're looking at. So let's go and check out all of these apps here. I'm not going to dive too deeply into this, but we'll go ahead and look around. There is a little bit of bloatware, I guess you can say, on the device, but the cool thing is Sprint allows you to actually remove some of these, so that's nice that they're allowing you to do that. So we have some 3D games, so let's check out some 3D content. Load this up. It just takes you to Gameloft's 3D Games web portal. So you can get Asphalt 6 Adrenaline 3D. We actually reviewed that. Be sure to check that out. GT Racing Motor Academy 3D, Assassin's Creed 3D, Let's Golf 3D, and Nova 3D. So nice selection of 3D games already. These are glasses-free 3D games. Looks really, really awesome. I know Gameloft is already working on converting more of their hit titles, so those should come out in the near future. So hopefully that is. Let's jump back out and move on here. Let's see, we have Blockbuster, streaming, that comes preloaded. We have our camcorder and camera. We did a full review on the camera and camcorder features, so be sure to check that out. This device is capable of shooting 2D as well as 3D pictures and video. Works actually quite well. Footprints, I'm not sure if anyone actually uses that anymore. Let's go into gallery. So we have some camera shots. Like I said, you can take 2D or 3D pictures. I'm going to go into sample 3D pictures, and then when you load it up, let's go into this picture. It'll automatically convert into 3D. So you're not going to be able to see what this looks like, but in person it's amazing. It adds a lot of depth to the image. It makes you feel like you're right there because you can really judge the distances between each little hilltop here. And everything just sort of pops out. It's not like the 3D in movie theaters where it really pops out of the screen, but the image itself just looks in a totally different light. I highly recommend checking out this device in store if you're skeptical about the 3D. But again, this phone has much more to offer than the 3D features. HTC hub. So this is a central hub with all of HTC's downloadable content. So you have apps and plugins. Looks like we have a LinkedIn widget there. Here is a flashlight application that allows you to turn in the LED light into a flashlight. Then we have the teeter game, so you can download those for free. We have widgets, different types of widgets you can download, and then you have sound sets, scenes, skins. I'll show you those in a few seconds here. Wallpapers, ringtones, alarm sounds, notification sounds. HTC Likes allows you to check out some recommended apps from HTC as well as on the Android market. So if you're a beginner to Android, this is a good place to start. Scroll down once again. Google Maps, of course, and then we have Google Navigator for navigation. Reader. Let's go ahead and pull this up. So an e-reading application. We'll go ahead and load up a book here so you can see what this looks like. Nice page animations for turning as well. It's always a nice little touch. We have a built-in task manager, which is nice. Green Hornet 3D. So this device comes with a 3D movie already preloaded. I'm going to load that up real quick. You're not going to be able to see the effect really, but might as well show it to you anyway.
Exactly. What a great idea. You may have started this.
So this is in glasses-free 3D.
You're an egomaniac.
Now hopefully they'll add more 3D content through the HTC Watch video service, or maybe on the Blockbuster online application. I'm crossing my fingers for Netflix to add some 3D movies as well. Then YouTube. Now YouTube has a neat feature which allows you to play 3D videos. So I'm going to go ahead and load one up here. 3D. There's a really cool one called Ocean Circus. It shows us some fish swimming around. Let's see if we can find that. Here we go. Now with 3D videos on YouTube, there we go. You just flip it to landscape and it'll automatically play. Turn that down a little bit. Now these videos weren't made for the EVO 3D. I suspect they're just made for standard 3D TVs or monitors, but they work just the same. And the video looks amazing for many of these videos. You just have to find the right one. Sometimes they don't look that great, but other ones really show the potential that glasses-free 3D displays have on smartphones. I was actually blown away when I first saw this. Alright, so let's go out of there. So there's 3D YouTube content. Obviously there's a phone button right there. Standard fare HTC dialer. Let's go ahead and pull this button up. So this is your personalization options. So this is where you come to, let's see, we can change our scene. So say you want multiple layouts to use, but you don't want to have to manually adjust them each time. This will allow you to do that. So say for work you have certain apps and widgets set on your home screen. You'll have that set up, and then if you want to switch to a different setup when you get home, you can do that instantly, or maybe one for the weekend, one for play, and then one for travel. Very quick way to switch between different home screen layouts. Back out of there, we have skin. So this will change the basic theme of the home screen. So you can see the bottom bar has changed a little bit. Whoops. Looks like I applied that one by mistake. We'll just let it load up anyway. Alright, see, so the bottom bar changed a little bit there. Let's go back in, go to skin. You can actually get more as well. So here are some colored ones. Here's purple. Go back out. Wallpaper. So we have your standard wallpapers, and then you have some live wallpapers as well. Let's go ahead and preview that one. This one's for animated weather. Return to our settings. Lock screen. Like I said, we covered this in depth previously, but you can change the different type of lock screen. So here's a standard wallpaper lock screen, and then you have a photo album, and photos from your photo album will shuffle through on your home screen, and they're animated, so it's pretty nice there. Then you have friend stream, weather, stocks, and a secondary clock. Over here we have HTC's widgets as well as the basic Android widgets. Let's go ahead and take a look at HTC's widgets. So here's one for HTC Watch, the video service. Airplane mode, Bluetooth, GPS, hotspot, mobile network, Wi-Fi 4G. Here's one for email, so you can swipe through each individual email. Here we have a list layout, even more expanded list. Contacts widget for quick dialing, smaller contacts widget, and a different layout there. Same there. Here's a calendar, month view, list view, and one appointment view. Bookmarks for the browser, text messages. So HTC always does a nice job of offering you various layouts and widgets. Friend stream, radio, bookshelf, weather. So here's a weather widget, that's nice. Smaller weather. Screen timeout, screen brightness, ringtone, HTC likes, profile, power dashboard, photo album, photo frame, photo grid, news, footprints, data dashboard, weather clock, social clock, digital clock, travel clock, and then we have a bunch of analog clocks. Calculator, many calculators to choose from, auto sync, auto rotate, stocks, and more stocks. So those are the HTC widgets. Go back out of here. Then we have your standard options to add apps on the home screen, shortcuts, folders. Then you can personalize your sounds like ringtones, notification sound, and alarm. Alright, so that was the software of the HTC EVO 3D from Sprint. If you want more coverage on the EVO 3D, be sure to check out our previous videos, which I've linked in the description, and subscribe to our YouTube channel if you haven't yet. We'll have the full review up shortly on smartkeitai.com, and of course, if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.